All right, so video 2 in the series of Reaper tutorial for voiceover. All right, so in this one, I'm going to show you how to prepare your audio track for recording. Now, what we want to do is we want to put some audio tracks in here so we actually get an idea of what exactly we're doing. So all you got to do to add an audio track is double click in this box right here. Okay, double click, boom, there you go. Now it says input one. Okay, in my case that's right, but if not, go to input. Um, oh, I only enabled one. No, I didn't. What the heck? What the heck? Um, that's strange. Oh, okay, wait. Oh, okay. So input one is essentially. Oh, that's weird because now it's working. That's probably a little bug. All right, so I had to click my audio, arm the audio recording, and then all of a sudden I have all the options for. That's weird. So, anyways, you want to go through, pick whichever one if you're using HD audio or high definition audio or Realtek, it'll show Realtek HD Audio 1, Realtek HD Audio 2. You only need one of those. So go in, and then if you're using a mono line, like if you're going from your preamp to Realtek, chances are you're using a quarter inch to eighth inch, and it's probably a mono. So you might have to switch between 1 and 2 to see. And if you're not getting any audio, make sure you turn off all the other programs in your computer that use audio. Skype, Firefox, Winamp, whatever. Okay? Turn them all off. Then reopen Reaper and you shouldn't have a problem. All right? So, or go back to the first video, setting up audio if you haven't seen it. So, what we're going to do, I selected the input that I want in analog 1 or HD audio left or HD audio 1, you know. And then let's enable record arm, okay? And what it's going to do, what this does, it arms the track for recording. So when I hit this record button, where's my this record button here, okay? It's going to start recording audio, all right? So now suddenly I have audio. Now, you'll notice that it's select files to save or delete, all right? So this is good. Um, this is actually a really good dialogue, but because I like to work fast, I I take the prompt off. All right. Now, what that's gonna do is next time you record, it won't show this dialogue. It'll just save the audio automatically. So if you save a bad take, then you're like, oh, like this sucks. But if you I don't know, if you want to keep it on, you can, and just press save all. And you could also rename the audio, which is pretty handy, like wow dot wave. All right. And then that'll go to your desktop, and I can't move my thing over, but it'll go to your desktop here and it'll show wow dot wave. All right. Where we saved it. So I just put it on my desktop so I could delete it all later. Now, um, here we go. So I'm going to delete that, or delete all. Delete one file. Okay. All right. Now, um, so we've found out that our audio is recording. That's the most important part. The audio is recording. All right. So let's just do another quick recording here, and then we can take a listen. Save all, and then all right. So our audio is in fact recording. We have liftoff. Now, there's a couple things that we need to do still before we go ahead and record our audio. All right. One thing that a lot of newer voiceover people do is record too loud into the speaker. Now, um, when you're recording, um, okay, so when you're recording audio from, say, a preamp to your Realtek, your Realtek like audio port in your computer is converting that digital signal or that analog signal to digital signal, okay? And it does that at a specific volume. So generally that's about minus 13, minus 12 dB full scale, which is this fader right here. Here, let me move this. I can't even make it bigger. So that's this fader here. Unfortunately, you can't see the numbers, but it says minus 19, right? So I'm going to reset that, and then we'll take a look at C. Because I have compression going in, so I'm going to take that off in a second. And then I'm going to crank up the volume to show you bad and then good, okay? So this is, I have my compression off right now. You'll notice it, I'm going to turn my preamp up and see how it's going up here to -6. Okay, now you can hear my voice really saturating in the low end. And that's because it's going through the digital or the analog to digital converters at a very high volume, and it's overloading those converters. Okay, so what we want to do is when we're recording, we want to record with our peaks at about -13. Okay, so and you can see that number up here. Okay, it says -15 right now. You want that to be no higher than -13 or -14, or else you're going to be overloading the input, which will reduce the audio signal in the end. Sure, you get less noise, but your overall signal is degraded. So you like with 16-bit, 24-bit audio, we don't need to worry about noise ratio, and especially if you're using a Realtek driver, um you're not, noise is not going to be a huge thing because it's, there's only a certain amount of fidelity with a Realtek driver. So um anyways, but you should still be getting like lows at about -60 and highs at about -12, and you can see that like when you just be silent. -62 for me. All right, and like I hear in my headphones, I hear white noise, like the noise of the preamp, and like this doesn't matter. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to show you why in the next video when we do standard effects, because you're going to use gate and compression to really bring out what you want to hear. Okay, so the most important thing here is having -13 or -13 ish peaks. Okay, and that's when you go like, see, mine went, see that it went all the way up to -2 when I did that. So I have to turn mine down still, and you'll notice that when I turn it down, you're barely gonna hear my voice in the video, but it's necessary. Okay, so turn your peaks down. You don't need to monitor live. Here, I'll show you. That's another thing I wanted to show you before I go, is live monitoring. Okay, uh, so right here it says record monitoring. You want to click that, and you get to listen to yourself if you have a decent audio driver. So if you're hearing a very big latency, like when you say hi and you hear it about half a second later, you should probably get ASIO for all, or you should go back to settings and reduce your preference. Go to preferences, and you'll be, if you're not in here, if you're not in ASIO, then you go to your direct sound or whatever, and then you reduce this to say 256. Okay, make sure it's what is that? I'm trying to think of the right word, but so let's say 4 times 256, 23 milliseconds. That's pretty darn good. Okay, so then you press OK, and then you should be able to hear your voice more closely to when you're saying it. All right, so selecting the input, okay, monitor this, and then the most importantly, your peaks. Okay, you don't want your peaks to be too loud. That is the biggest mistake that a newer voice actor will do. Whoa, my voice sounded all funky there. So yeah, make sure, and also, if you're, let's say you're recording, and because I noticed this before, sometimes you're recording and it's not clipping, but your audio is, no matter how loud you talk, it's staying at -11 or -10 or -6. Okay, and what that means is that your audio is coming in really hot like you got to turn down your preamp. Your audio is coming in too hot, and then you have in your volume settings here, you have your playback devices, recording devices. Okay, so in our audio settings, you will have in levels. This will be clipped down. You don't want this down. This is just your. This is to enable your full signal. Okay, and that's important. So if this is down, say you have a USB mic or something. If this is down, um, or not USB mic. I'll have to do a USB mic in another tutorial. Um, anyways, if you're using a Realtek driver, make sure this is all the way up. Make sure your mic gain on here is down. It'll say mic gain or something. Let me see if I can find it. Microphone properties. Yeah, let's see. It's to. I don't know what this is showing. Okay, whatever. So, see, microphone boost, down, down, down. You do not want digital gain. You want to use your analog gain. So, don't turn this down. Don't turn this up. All right. And that's if you're screaming into your mic and it's not going over -6. To check your peaks, that's what's happening. Sorry, my nose is all stuffy. Okay, anyways, in the next video, I'm going to show you, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to record a couple takes before I do the next video. So all I'm going to do is hit record now. I'm going to blah, 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 do my lines. And then in the next video, you're going to come back and you're going to see a bunch of lines and I'm going to show you how to work with those lines, okay?